Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a super exciting video for all you people who have been DMing me on Instagram. I am finally making a video about how I find my stock picks, and I'm going to be disclosing that with you, as well as disclosing my last week's gain. It was a crazy week. I am going to be talking about my gains from Thursday, Friday, Monday of this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, and since tomorrow's off and Friday's a really short day, I'm also going to be disclosing my gains from this week, and by this week I mean from last week Thursday, Friday, and then this week Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just because tomorrow is closed and then Friday is also a short day, so I'm just finishing up my week and I'm not going to be trading tomorrow since it's closed, and Friday since it's a short day. It's not going to be good for day traders since there's going to be a lack of volume because no one's going to want to be trading to hold. So let's hop right into it. Alright, so first off, let's talk about how I find the stocks that I find. Alright, so one of the ways I do is looking on YouTube. I look at a bunch of different people. I've been searching YouTube now for 2 years, watching stock videos. I really am into stocks, so on my free time, that's all I'm doing is watching stock videos. Then after that, I move on to something like Twitter, and I have some people that I follow on Twitter, and then I also look on stock twits. I don't really recommend stock twits because it's not great for beginners, because there's a lot of people who just spam on that saying bearish things or super bullish things, and you can't really trust any of the people that are on there. It's only good for people who are more advanced, and you can go through the comments and understand that some are going to be super wrong, and you got to make sure that you understand that, because when someone says that a stock's going to go all the way to zero, you don't want to think that when it's going to go all the way up. So you want to make sure that you understand that there's going to be people out there that are just out to say random stuff, and you can't believe that. And then so stock twits, YouTube, Twitter. I don't like Reddit. Some people use Reddit. I haven't really. I also look on Google, so I'll just be Googling things. And then I just really like to look up on Yahoo Finance, and what I'll do is on Yahoo Finance, I'll make a screener, and then I'll screen what I want. So if I'm looking for small cap companies, which I really like to do, then I'll put in about any company under 40 million, and then I'll also change the revenue. I want the growth of the revenue to be about 40% year over year. I don't care about profit because a small cap company shouldn't really be profitable yet, and if it is, then that's super crazy, and I want to make sure that they're growing, because sometimes if they're profitable, then that means that they're slowing down, and when they're losing money, they're normally growing really fast. Another thing that I like to do after I do that is then I like to look in Yahoo Finance at the financials of those companies, because just because you find a low cap company doesn't mean that it's all of a sudden going to go to a $500 million market cap. You got to have reasons to back that up. Is that company going to grow? So it takes a lot of work. So sometimes I'll scan through. On a couple weeks ago, I did the screener and I got through. I believe it was 140 different companies that I looked through, and actually only 10 of those I actually got appealed to me, and then I put them in my watch list, and then I went into their finances and also looking at their management team and watching some videos about them, and only about one of them or two I thought were like okay, but I actually haven't invested in them, because the ones that I really like and that I do really good on are the ones that I'm like, wow, that company's a small cap company. How is this still a small cap company? Those are the ones that you want to be investing in. You don't want to be investing in something that's just okay, mediocre. That's how you're going to lose money, and that's how I've lost money in the market. You want to invest in things that are like, wow, they want to whoa you, because that's just how you're going to be making money. The market is super volatile, and sometimes you might have a really good pick, and you're sitting on that stock for a really long time, and it just never goes up in value, and you're wondering why that is. Sometimes the market just hasn't found it, and it takes a while, but it always does tend to be found. There's nothing's going to be unvalued forever. So I have really done really good with those ones. Some of the penny stocks that I have really liked that have done really good are MTRX. I actually got into that at 11 cents. It's now at around, it had highs of 90 cents. So that's a That's a 9x there. I didn't hold all the way. I day traded that and swing traded that. I did have some pretty nice gains on that. I think I made about like 3,000 Canadian in total on that. That was when I was kind of first starting out. I really like MTRX still to this day. Another one that I really liked was Bragg. Did really well. I actually followed it from 40 cents all the way up to 88 cents, and I think now it's sitting at about 77, and MTRX is also sitting about 77. Those are both really small cap companies that I found at about 30 million, and then obviously now they're at a lot higher. MTRX I actually found when it was only at 14 million, and I just saw the huge potential. I read about them. The financials weren't great, but I saw huge growth opportunity, and I was like, whoa, like look at this. Like MTRX, Loop Insights was working with really big players. They got entered into the TELUS marketplace, which was huge, and they had all these big names, and they were just working with a lot of people, and I was like, how is such a small company being able to work with all these big names? And I just saw huge potential, and it did work out. Sometimes you're gonna have to cut losses if it doesn't go as planned. That's another thing I've really learned. Cut losses. Cut losses. And you gotta understand that you're gonna have losses. No one is not gonna ever not have a loss. Losses are inevitable. Another thing that you need to know about is when you're getting into the market is that you can't be emotional. When I first started trading about a year ago, I got super emotional with my trades. When I was up a whole lot, I'd be super excited. And I mean, I still get excited when I'm up, but when I was down, I would get super scared, nervous, and I'd panic sell. And that's the worst thing you can do. The worst thing that you can do is panic sell. You gotta sit back, think, okay, have the fundamentals changed of this company? What is it looking like? And then if it's a yes to that, and that the company got really bad news, really bad earnings, and you don't think that they're gonna improve, then okay, that is a reasonable answer to sell. If it doesn't have that, and everyone just dumping the price, and you're just scared that it went down 50%, so now you're selling for no reason, that's a really bad thing to do. I'm the person who's now, okay, what is the reasoning behind why this stock just plummeted? No reason at all. Only just some short sellers said that they were short on the stock, so now everyone's panicking. That's the best time to buy. That's really the best time. It's like Warren Buffett's quote, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. So that's the best time to buy, when everyone's super scared. The time that you want to be selling is when everyone's saying, oh my God, it's going to the moon, it's going to the moon. Unless it's Tesla. That thing's obviously going to the moon. If you're not on that already, get on the Tesla train. That thing's going to Mars. You already know. All right, so that's another thing to know. Just cut your losses and understand. Another thing that I want to talk about is when you're cutting your losses, sometimes I would do this where I'd set my stop loss and I'm setting it at the support level, and then it breaks the support level, but I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. Like maybe it's gonna get above that support level again, and it's gonna keep on going up because it's gonna be different this time. I would keep on saying, oh, it's gonna be different for me. The stock market doesn't care about you, and it could really care less. You gotta understand that when you have fundamentals and things in place, go with them. That's one thing that I'm really harping on, because that's what has improved me a lot. For example, I had Bank of Nova Scotia and I was short on it. I was short 3,000 shares, and at 60.80 I believe, and then I said, okay, my stop is 62. If it goes above 62, which was the past resistance, then this thing is going to keep on going. I don't care if the coronavirus is still super bad, all the fundamentals. I'm going with what my stop loss is, and then it hit 62. Okay, I'm out of it. I wait for a few minutes to see, because sometimes there could be a big order that went through, so then it'll break it and then quickly come back down. So you don't want to quickly do it, but I wait a few minutes, and then if it stays above that, I'm like, okay, I'm out, and I get out. Because you don't want to stay in that trade. The market doesn't care about you. It's going to keep on doing whatever it's wanting. You're not going to be some exception. That's one thing that I kept on thinking. I'm going to be this exception. It's going to do something else, and it's not going to follow the normal rules and things that it normally does. So I cut my loss, and then what happened? It continued up. I was really happy with that trade. Even though I did have about a $900 loss, I was happy with it because I followed my plan and I did exactly what I wanted, and it continued up after. So that made me happy because I could have had a really worse loss. And actually right when I cut that loss, that's when things started to go crazy. So after that loss, I actually went into THCB, which was a SPAC that I found. I'll put up a little picture showing when I found that SPAC and what the price was and what the current price is now. I got some warrants at $1. Those warrants are now above $2. They're at $2.18. I sold mine at $1.31, and then I moved all of that into a new SPAC, which was AMCI. The reason I did that was because I had a thinking in place, okay? So if you got $100 and you make 30% on that, that's $130. If I can double that again, that's $260. Or I could wait for a whole double, and that 100 that I put in would now be 200. So my thinking was I want that 260. So I had found something before I had sold that I thought had a really good chance of doubling, and that was AMCI. So I quickly went into that. I bought in at 68 cents a warrant, and that was a really smart idea. That is now trading at above $1. It's actually at $1.15 after hours. And I actually bought around 28,100 warrants. I sold 9,675 of those after hours today for $11,000. So I am actually up around 20,000 Canadian this week, just from Thursday, Friday, this Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it has been a phenomenal week. 20,000 Canadian. I can't complain about that. I've made back all of my losses, and I'm now up 20,000 Canadian, all in the span of just 5 trading days. Crazy. What have I been doing? I've been following my rules, getting in and out of stocks really quick. Not too quick, but I'm getting that profit. I'm not caring if it keeps going up. That's fine. I got my profit. Profit is profit, and I'm moving. I'm using compounding to my advantage because, like I said before, if you got something that you can get a double on, you put in $1, you double it, you could stay in that and it might go to 200% plus, so then you'll be at $3 because that 100 just tripled, that went to $3. Or you could take that $2 and then double it somewhere else, and now that's $4. So what would you rather, $3, $4? I'd rather that $4. Take that $4, double it somewhere else, 8. If you would have took that $3 and waited for 4, that would only be at $4 now. So you got to move around. The hard thing is finding the stocks, like I said. So what do you got to do? Well, first you got to subscribe. You got to hit that like button, because I mean, I just made $20,000 this week. I'm trying to make you guys money. You guys could have followed all my plays. I posted all of them on my Instagram. Make sure you follow that. It's actually stock_Canada. I actually have been gaining a lot of followers, so thank you for that. And thanks for all the DMs. That keeps me on my toes. I like to answer all your questions. You guys kept on hounding me about making a video about how I find these stocks. So here it is. I know it's not a great explanation because saying YouTube is really hard, but the main thing is you just gotta find a bunch of people. Finding me is how you're starting. You gotta find more people, and you just gotta see and understand the markets. One thing that I really like right now are SPACs. The reason I like SPACs is because basically it's value investing. I say that because you got a company that's doing a blank check, doing a reverse merger with a $1 billion company, and so their value is $1 billion, and that's what they're going as a merger. But because they come out at that price, it's like an IPO. You can understand if that's a good value or not because they're pricing it themselves, and most of the time they have to actually underprice it just because that's how the NASDAQ works and listing. And the way that I know that is actually because I actually invested into Vivos, which is actually going public really soon, I believe in December. I actually made that investment when I was 15. That was my first ever investment, and it's now going public. So that was really cool because I got to invest into a pre-IPO company. So I'm super pumped about that. And so they had a really hard time valuing the company at what they wanted because they couldn't say the value of it. They had to get it approved. And so that really shows. Another thing that I really like about SPACs is the fact that there's warrants. Warrants kind of leverage your money. They are riskier because if the merger doesn't go through, you're actually not going to be able to get your money back on those warrants unless you do sell them, and they're going to be way, way, way less because now that merger isn't going through, and that SPAC, that blank sheet company, now has to find another company, which may take a lot of time. So a lot of people are going to sell out at that price that it's currently at, which is going to drop it because supply and demand. So I really like SPACs for that, because getting a warrant at $1, basically warrants for the most part are always exercisable at $11.50 for the share price. So you can exercise a warrant and then get a share, and that share price is going to be $11.50, and then you're adding what you paid for that warrant on top, and so then that's what you're getting the share. So say that you bought THCB at $1 and the exercise price that you get the share at is $11.50, you're basically getting that stock at $12.50 after you exercise it and everything, since you paid that $1 for that THCB warrant. So I really, really like that, because if you would have just bought that share at $11.50 and it was now at $12.50, okay, you would have made almost a 10% return. But if you would have bought that warrant at $1 and now the stock's now trading at $13.50, you would be up 20% with your shares, but you'd be up 100% with that warrant because it would now be worth $2. That's why I really, really like warrants. That's why I'm all in warrants right now. A lot of my money is all tied up in actually AMCI. The reason I really, really like it is because they have a definitive agreement right now, and they have it with a really big company. I believe that it's going to do really good. They're doing nitrogen cells. They work with FCEL. You guys probably know that if you've been watching all the stock market. It's been hyped up since the nitrogen cell, and just the whole EV market has been really hyped. I do see the warrants going to about $3 to $4. I don't see that being unrealistic. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about my gains that I had this past week. So first off, we have THCB warrants. I'll put up a picture here just showing where I had bought in and sold out. I sold out at $1.31, so I made about $3,000. I then put that into another company, and I'll put that up here. I bought those warrants just for a quick swing trade. I held them for about a day, and I made about $2,000 on those. Then I had a lot of that into AMCI. I then sold some of my AMCI and went into a day trade. I'll put that up in what I went in. And then I bought back into my AMCI, and that's what I've been holding now. And I just had recently sold that after market, like I had said, for about $11,000. And that's American. So my profit this week has been about 20,000 Canadian. So again, crazy week. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope the stock market is doing good for you guys and showing you a little bit of love. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence and make sure that you have a fun time trading and trade on, and hope you get some amazing gains like I have. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button, and make sure to stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to be giving more stock tips. I have a really small cap company that I'm super pumped to be sharing with you guys. I haven't started a position in that yet, so I'm just waiting to start that position after I'm done with AMCI. Then I'm going to be making a smashing video talking about that company and why I like it so much, and why I'm going to go for a mid to long term hold on it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, and make sure you follow my Instagram. All right, peace out.